Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Legend, and I'm back with another video. You already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. What if Naruto was a solo badass? Part 2. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, let's just get into this intro so we can start this what if.
さすがは仮にも影の名を背負う忍びたちだ。ならば内浜田らも全力で応えよう。おかげも何も全てが無駄になることに。
Alright, I'm gonna have to say this right now off rip. For those who don't like explicit scenes, you might as well just skip ahead 2 minutes or so, because apparently I was on a demon time when I wrote this. So yeah, let's just get in to the what if. Naruto panted. He was exhausted. His mother had just screwed him dry. He lay chained to the bed due to his mother's bloodline, and his mother lay on top of him, their naked bodies pressed against each other's, and their sex still connected. Kushina herself panted. That was their 4th round. Kushina reached over, grabbing 2 soldier pills from her nightstand as she swallowed one and forced Naruto to swallow the other. Naruto began to get bricked once more inside his mother's sex as he groaned. His member was overused, so it was painful for him to stay that way, let alone use it. You like being engulfed in my sex, don't you? You enjoy when I make you my little bitch, don't you, Naruto-chan? Naruto groaned as Kushina bucked her hips against him. Fuck, get off of me! If you do this any longer, I'll break. Kushina laughed at him. In some twisted way, she thought he was enjoying this. Naruto-chan, you really need to work on your dirty talk. As the busty woman spoke, Naruto threw his head every which way and grit his teeth as Kushina moved her hips faster. She even began to slap Naruto as she played the dominant role. Kushina was enjoying the feeling of Naruto's being throbbing inside of her, but Naruto seemed to be in agony, so much so that he passed out, leaving Kushina to have her release alone. The next day, Naruto awoke in a panic. He looked around, seeing nothing but his mother's room. He then winced, taking note of the fact that his mother was gone and his lower region was in pain. He looked down and saw deep cut marks on his wrists and ankles, obviously from his mother acting dominant last night. Naruto stood and gasped. His lower region was in so much pain to the point where he could barely walk. Naruto made his way to the bathroom to take a shower. He needed to get rid of his blue balls, so to speak. He turned on the warm water and began to rub one out. He started petting the snake, and soon after he heard a monotone voice speak. Uzumaki, Lady Hokage wants to see you in her office. Naruto wasn't surprised. He was already getting called, and he knew that no one saw the Anbu come in. I'll be there soon. Naruto finished his shower, got dressed, and left the house in the Shunshin, making his way to Tsunade's office. Naruto arrived a minute later. What is this about, Tsunade-sama? The Hokage looked up and immediately put up a privacy barrier. She then began and grabbed the Anbu uniform as she threw it at him. I need you to put this on. Do you have a retrieval mission to go on? Naruto started to change in the next room over as he listened to the Hokage. Your mission will take you 2 days at the very least. The place I need you to go, I don't exactly know how much resistance you will face, if any, so be careful. Naruto came out of the next room over, putting on his wolf mask in the process. Tsunade tossed Naruto a scroll as he caught it. The rest of the mission details are in there. Look it over and then burn it. Don't let anyone else get their hands on it. Naruto nodded as he pocketed the scroll and flashed out of the office. Naruto appeared outside Ino's window. He removed his mask and knocked twice. Ino looked out her window and opened it. Naruto-kun, what? Naruto covered her mouth as he climbed through the window. Quiet. Nobody can know I stopped by here. Ino was confused. She was excited to see her boyfriend after a week and a half of him going completely silent on her for some reason. She then took in his appearance. She slowly looked up at him, then at the mask on the side of his face. So you're an Anbu now? Naruto didn't need to answer that question. The answer was clear. Been thinking about joining for a while now. I just got in. Been doing all the paperwork for the past week. But I have a mission today, and I don't know how long I'll be gone. Naruto leaned down and kissed her. I gotta go. See you later on. Naruto vanished and Ino looked out of her window. Naruto thought about going and telling his aunt, but he couldn't risk her telling his mom. Not about the mission anyway. Naruto made his way out of the village and looked over the scroll Tsunade gave him. Naruto looked it over, then rolled it back up and burned it using a low-rank fire jutsu. Naruto took to the trees. His first mission as an Anbu was taking him to the village hidden in the rain. Meanwhile, Kushina sat across from Mikoto as the two laughed. No, I'm serious, Kushina. You look amazing. You even have an afterglow right now. Kushina laughed. You look just as good, if not even better than me, Miko. The two of them laughed as they compared their looks to one another. So who is he, Kushina? The redhead looked at her best friend confused. What do you mean? Who's who? Mikoto placed a hand over her mouth as she laughed. Come on, Kushina. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, the guy you're obviously fucking, Kushina. Who is he? Kushina blushed heavily. This was the first time someone asked her about her sex life in a long time. It's nobody you know. Mikoto rolled her eyes. I don't care if I know him or not. What I want to know is, how is it? Kushina began to smile, a very lewd smile. It's amazing. I can go all day on how wonderful it is, but I'd be here all day. Really? It's that good? Well then, please enlighten me. Now I'm curious. Kushina giggled. You have the right to be curious. He's so amazing. His stamina is a turn on in itself. And his snake. Oh my god, it's like it was created for me. A shiver went down Kushina's body as she thought of the magnificent inches that she enjoyed getting so much. Just talking about it was getting her hot and bothered. And her undergarments soon developed a wet spot in the front of them. Mikoto saw her reaction of Kushina and was a little surprised and hot and bothered herself. My Kushina. He must be amazing. Do you care to tell his name so I can give him a test run? Kushina's head snapped towards her sister figure. You will not fucking touch him. Get your own damn man. I'm not sharing mine with anyone. Mikoto looked at her before letting out a nervous chuckle. Kushina then stood as she walked. I'm gonna go use your bathroom. 30 miles from Konoha. Naruto moved through the trees. He was moving at top speed, with a thin layer of chakra expanding from him in a 2-meter radius. It acted as an enhancement to his sensing ability. He wasn't sure what to expect from this mission. He didn't know the layout of the village hidden in the rain. All he knew was how to get there. He continued to move. He wondered what the threat level would be, since that wasn't stated. There would obviously be ranged shinobi there, but what about heavy hitters? How would he need to approach the village? How would the mission even go? In Training Ground 5, activate your Sharingan, little brother. Sasuke did as Itachi told him, as his eyes turned a deep red with 3 black tomos in them. Now, I will test your ability with you at your best, just so I can see what needs my immediate assistance. Itachi moved off, not bothering to activate his own dojutsu. Sasuke swung his sword, but Itachi simply flicked a kunai upwards, as it sliced Sasuke's fingers, causing him to drop his sword. Sasuke made to jump away, but he bumped into something solid and felt a thin piece of metal at his neck, as the Itachi in front of him disappeared into a murder of crows. You rely too heavily on your blade, little brother. You don't even have the proper amount of speed to get the best use of the blade, nor do you have the strength to wield it yet. By the time you reached back and pulled your sword, and then swung at me, I had already reached back and armed myself with a kunai that I used to wound you, causing you to drop your weapon. And before your weapon even hit the ground, I had already done my hand signs for my clone replacement. Itachi removed the tanto from Sasuke's neck. As for the tactic I used, it was simple. The clone was created nearly as a distraction. The replacement was so I could get behind you and switch places with my clone with little effort. It's a tactic taught to me by Shisui, and I taught this tactic to Naruto, and now I've taught it to you. Some may see this as a waste of chakra, but I see it as smart. When an enemy has direct line of sight of you, he is a very dangerous threat. But when he has minimal line of sight of you, he just becomes a threat. Now, let's start again, Sasuke. 3 hours later, Sasuke stood with his hands on his knees, panting, with his black eyes looking at Itachi. At this rate, Sasuke, you won't be able to assist me and Mother with our plans. Naruto, on a bad day, would completely thrash you. As you are right now, your only chance of catching up to him is awakening the Mangekyo Sharingan. But you are at low Jonin level, so your potential to grow stronger is still vast. Now, stand straight and come with me, again. With Naruto. Naruto stood on a tree branch as he looked at a field ahead of him. It was empty. Nothing that was there, except for some stray bushes and a few patches of grass. He couldn't believe that Jiraiya traveled through this open field. His gut was telling him not to leave the tree, not to touch the ground, but he saw absolutely nothing. He could see no traps, no wires, but he just had this feeling. He pulled the kunai from his pouch and dropped it. He wasn't surprised when it was shredded to pieces. Naruto jumped higher into the tree. He went through hand signs before slamming a hand onto a tree branch. Out of a plume of smoke came a saber-toothed tiger. Naruto pet the 7.5-foot prehistoric beast. A long time no see, Boris. You think you could get through this minefield with little to no damage? The cat looked at the field before it nodded. Naruto hopped onto the cat, and the cat leaped, covering a total of 75 feet with just one leap. Boris leaped in a zigzag pattern, avoiding all the mines as he made his way. Naruto sat on the cat, still thinking of his mission. Soon his eyes closed, and he fell asleep. What felt like 5 minutes later, Naruto woke, hearing the grunts and mews of his summon, signaling their arrival. In reality, it's been about a good 30 minutes. Naruto hopped off the saber-toothed cat as it vanished in a puff of smoke. Naruto looked up at the village entrance. There was no rain, but it was still cloudy. Naruto jumped into the water and swam through the gates of the village. He swam for 5 minutes at a time, sucking air from the cracks and nooks and crannies that were in the water, hidden by the rubble that was in the water. Naruto finally surfaced. Everyone seemed to be in a panic. Everyone was running around, trying to rebuild, trying to calm the civilians. Naruto stayed like that and listened, and to try to catch something, some needed information. Apparently the leader of the village was killed, which would explain the state of the village. Meanwhile, in grass country, Orochimaru was currently standing over an unconscious woman. She had long red hair with pink tint to it. She looked around 19 to 20 years old. She had fair skin and a beautiful figure. The only thing ruining the beautiful skin was the blood that continued to run down her cheeks from her empty eye sockets. There was also a curse mark on her neck. Orochimaru grabbed a pair of renegades from his surgical tray and began to implant them into Tayuya. He looked through this small telescope to make sure he didn't damage any of the nerves. He gently placed them into her sockets as he reattached all the nerves. After 30 minutes of surgery, Orochimaru removed his gloves and wiped the sweat from his forehead. Now, it was finally time for him to make the switch. Back with Naruto. He slowly emerged from the water in the hidden rain with the dead body of the Toad Sage. The man honestly looked like shit. His body was somewhat intact, except for the missing arm. His body was bloated and gray, hair wet and matted, and clothes stained with blood. Now I can leave this depressing place. To think my first mission would be recovering the dead body of a sage. Time skip. 10 hours later, Naruto body flickered through the gates of the Leaf Village, bypassing the gate guards without them even noticing. He continued his body flicker all the way to the Hokage's office. He appeared in front of Tsunade, and he placed a scroll on the floor before her, unsealing what was inside, revealing Jiraiya's corpse. Mission complete, Hokage-sama. Here is a written report of my mission. Naruto tossed her another scroll as she stared at the corpse with tears building up in her eyes. Naruto finally removes his Anbu mask. I'm sorry for your loss, Tsunade Bachan. But even though I and the sage didn't have a close relationship, I know he wouldn't want to see you like this. Naruto turned and began to walk out of the room. He contemplated where he was going to sleep for the night. He was very tempted to just go and stay with Ino so he could just avoid his mother, but he knew he'd eventually have to deal with her, so he just decided to go home. Naruto slowly made his way home, taking far longer than it should. Naruto opened the door to his house to find his mother sitting up on the sofa, waiting for him. She glared at him as she stood and approached him. She slammed a finger on his chest and pushed him against the wall. Where the hell were you? Naruto looked down at the angry redhead that was his mom. I was on a little mission. No big deal. Kushina ground her teeth together. No big deal? You were gone for almost 20 hours. And you didn't tell anyone. Naruto didn't say anything, as he just pushed past Kushina and slipped off his sandals. Kushina then caught a whiff of him and recoiled. Damn, you stink. Take that damn trench coat off and throw it in a washer and take a shower before you get in my bed. Kushina then walked away, taking off her robe in the process as she got comfortable on her bed. Naruto sat in the shower, letting the warm water run down his frame. Naruto didn't care what Kushina said. Tonight, he was sleeping in his own damn bed. He was exhausted, and all he wanted to do was just stretch out, relax, and sleep. But guys, I'm going to end it off right there. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe while you're at it. But I'm out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.